Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
So that's something I was talking about. So I have loaded this point net architecture over here. Okay. So this is something I was talking about. So thing is that when we get point cloud, so this point cloud is for plane, this point cloud is like for table, this copy table, this point cloud is for different table, then merge, par, okay. So we will have like different sort of point clouds with us. And when we want to use that point cloud as an input, and when we want to like give class as an output, like that's basically like classification task. Thing is that there are certain issues, okay, and that need to be addressed, and that's something I listed in like means like in last slide, okay. So it need to be like invariant to like order and shape, the order in which we are feeding that thing into our network. It need to be invariant to like translation and rotation. If I like change orientation of this lamp to left or right, it means our algorithm should still be able to like recognize it as a like uh, lamp only, okay. So that's like second thing, second issue, and that's something our 3D deep learning algorithm should handle. And then third thing is about sensitivity to local structure, okay. So thing is that if you use like 128 arrays, laser with like 120 arrays, then what will happen is like you might so the resolution or the number of points that you are getting for this like table, small table over here, would be like very huge, okay. And if you try to process that thing inside this 3D deep learn this inside this model, you might miss some important point, okay. So what it means, you really might not need all of those points, okay. What you need is like you need to uh, look for those details, okay. You need to just identify those key points inside that architecture, okay. So maybe like this links or something, or like just their outlines. That's something you need to identify, okay. So your algorithm need to be sensitive to that local structure and that geometry, okay. So these are the three things that our algorithm need when we have to do 3D deep learning, and then we would be able to like do that classification, okay. So then thing is like how exactly to achieve that thing, okay. So that something is like addressed means properly inside this point net architecture, but still there are some flaws which are being addressed in point net plus plus architecture. Still there were some flaws, means mostly those were related to speed only. So that's something handled inside that RAND-Linux architecture which came last year, okay. So these sort of things are there, okay. And apart from that, if you go for like different companies, they have their own algorithm. There is like Pixar, I guess it's from Uber. Then you have point pillars from Metanomy. Uh, yeah, that's all I can remember right now. Yeah, but these sort of architectures are there, okay. So, but now today we'll just focus on this point net architecture, okay, because even if you understand this point net architecture, and means this is something will give you like means enough idea like how exactly this 3D deep learning is being applied to point cloud to do this classification stuff, because this thing is like means huge applications, okay. Means it's just not that like you can use this thing over here, but you can also use this thing for like handling CT scan, handling that MRI scan, or for like cell classification, or like tumor identification. So you can use this thing in like those sort of application as well, medical application as well, or maybe you can use it for like different purpose. But thing is that let's see like how exactly this point net architecture is dealing with all those issues that we discussed in last time: invariance to order and shape, invariance to translation, rotation, and sensitivity. Okay. The first thing is that what we are doing, what we are providing as an input in this architecture is we providing a point cloud here as an input. Okay, so n by 3, n is basically number of points uh, that we are providing at input, and 3 is basically like xyz coordinate. Okay, so that's something we are providing as an input into this architecture. And then we have input transform, okay. So the input transform, so they have list, I mean they have like explain this thing down over here, what exactly they have inside that input transform. So this input transform is something which handles or which provide invariance to translation and rotation. Okay. So thing is that in case of like our convolutional neural networks, when we want to have like invariance to translation rotation, what we generally do is we do data augmentation thing. Okay. So we do some flipping, we do rotation, we do translation, all that stuff, and that's how we achieve that invariance to translation rotation. And still it's not that perfect. Okay. And that's something we are handling manually. But if you have to handle that thing in architecture only, then like we need to use this input transform. Okay. So what we have inside this input transform is like means they have just named it as like input transform, but basically this architecture is similar to spatial transformer network. Okay. So basically what we have is like means let's say we have some 9 with us. Okay. Yeah, so you can use this 3D visualization tool. Okay. So it's like simple architecture, and it's basically doing like this digit classification. Okay, from 0 to 9. Okay. So what I'm trying to show you is like if I like, so this is like input layer at the bottom, and this is like where we are getting, this is output layer, and this is where we are getting classification done. Okay. So what I'm saying is, let's say instead of writing 9 means instead of writing this one properly straight. Okay. So if we write one straight properly, we will get like one as output. Okay. But if we like erase this thing, and if I like write this thing as like something like this, then you can check the probability that we are getting over here. It also like means it also representing it as like 1, and it also means it also showing it could be like 1, or it could also be 7. No? So so basically this is like this invariance is something I was talking about. Okay. When you change particular thing, okay, when you like rotate that particular figure or object, it should still be identified as that particular object only. Okay. When I rotate one, it should, I mean, we should, our algorithm should still display it as a 1 only. Okay. But what it's showing is like it's showing either it's 0 or it's 1 or it's 7. Okay. So the same thing happen in case of the point net architecture as well, and that's something our spatial transformer network is handling. So basically what we have over there is we have like tnet architecture over there. Okay. So what we have inside the tnet architecture is we take like this xyz coordinate, okay, for this particular object, and then we apply 3 by 3 transform to that. Okay. And that 3 by 3 transform will give us this one. Okay. So basically one is a target, this one is a source, and then that 3 by 3 matrix is our like transformation. Okay. So that's something is handled using like that 3 by 3 convolutional layer. Okay. Or like that sort of algorithm, but that's the spatial transformer network. And then you have like that some matrix multiplication which is happening over there, and that's how, so basically you are getting this source, and then you are already trying to get this thing means translated, rotated in this particular format. Okay. So when you feed this thing further in network, you would have this thing like properly adjusted or like properly rotated to this final form one. Okay. So you will not have this one going further into architecture. So that something is being handled using that this transformer network. Okay. tnet. Clear? That's something I was talking about. So basically, this first part, special network is handling that invariance thing. That network is providing invariance to translation and rotation. Okay, because both of the solution are like part of, means that something is like it's just not handling the translation rotation part. It also handling scaling part also. Okay, so that something is being handled using this special transformer network that you see over here. Okay, and once you handle this translation rotation issue, the next issue that you need to handle is like you need to provide sensitivity to local and global, I mean local structure and geometry. So thing is that let's say you have like n number of points with you and like their xyz coordinates. What you are doing is for each of that point, you are passing that thing through means 1D convolutional layer. Okay, can you hear me, guys? And that's something we call like multi-layer perceptron. So we are passing each of these points to this multi-layer perceptron, and currently this data has like 3 channels only, right? N number points and 3 channels only. Depth is only 3. So we are passing this thing to like this multi-layer perceptron, where we have like number of neurons, but the depth that we are using is 64. Okay, so we are changing this depth from 3 to 64. Okay, and the next thing is like we are allowing them to have like we are allowing them to share their weights with each other. Okay, and this sharing thing is something providing us sensitivity to local structure. So what I'm saying basically is like, let's say we have like these many points over here, and these points is something we are feeding into our network. Okay, so we have like means uh, let's say this table was rotated earlier, then we pass this thing to that spatial transformer network. Now it's like oriented vertically. Then we pass this uh, uh, multi-layer perceptron. Okay. But inside that multi-layer perceptron, what we have is we have like we have like that means 1D layer. Okay, and number of features that we have over there is like 64. Okay, so initial depth for that particular data was like 3, but after passing through that multi-layer perceptron, it will have like depth of 64. Okay, but apart from that, means let's say we are using like this multiple layer, so you can see all these layers, right? So for like one layer to deal with like one point, another layer to deal with another point, and all that stuff. Initially it has like depth, means depth of 3, it changed to like 64, and then at the output it has like depth of 64. Okay, but thing is that they have written it down over here. Okay, like this thing means their weights are shared. Okay, and this thing is something means let's say we are using like means a number of those neurons over there, 1D convolutional layers, and we are using like 64 features. But when we share these weights, what basically we are doing is that like we are allowing all those points to talk to local structure. Okay. And that's basically function of this multi-layer perceptron. Is this thing clear to you guys? Because after that, blocks is repeating again and again and again. Feature transform, then like this multi-layer perceptron until this point. Hello.
Yeah, Mayur, I had one question about the MLP depth. So when you say that, one MLP block has certain depth, what does it mean?
Okay. The thing is that there are two things. Okay, so when you're talking about so in case of the neurons, there are two things. Okay, so means thing is that in our input data currently here we just have like 3 features. Okay, means we just have like their xyz information, and basically these are these 3 means they are providing like more information about that point number 1 or like any point. When I say like we are increasing its depth, basically what I'm trying to see is we are trying to detect more features, or we are trying to see like more details for that. Hello.
Yep,
Yes,
Hello. Okay,
we
you can
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 hear
hear
you,
you.
Mayur.
what I'm saying is, when I'm saying like I'm increasing its depth, so basically I'm trying to see more, or I'm trying to see more characteristics inside that particular one, I mean that one point only. Okay, and that's something we're doing all the points. Okay, so let's say there is a table, and that particular point represent corner or joint section of that variable. Okay. So when we in the beginning we just have like their XYZ position, okay. But when we pass this thing through this multi-layer perceptron, and when we see when we say like we are increasing its depth to 64, so basically we will have like 64 different characteristics for that particular point. Okay. So we will have like 64 means different these convolutional layers running on means going means dealing with that particular point, and they will like detect for different qualities or characteristics of that particular point, not just. Is it clear now? Let me try to explain this thing for you.
I missed just the last 5 seconds of what you were saying.
Okay, so just look at this. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Yep, can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I'm trying to say is like means you're like taking this much data, means you are passing. Okay, so basically when I'm saying like I'm using like just instead of using like these 3 features, I'm looking for 64 features. Okay, so basically I'm using like this many number of like layers over there. Okay, kernels over there. Okay, 64 different kernel will like interact with that particular point, and they will try to identify different distinct feature inside that point. Okay, so
Okay, understood.
over here feature. Basically what you're doing like you're using 64 different kernels, and you are able to detect different feature inside which are associated with the tool, and that thing goes further down in the network. Okay, and like all these layers, so basically here they are not sharing their weights with each other. Okay, but in case of that multi-layer perceptron, they are able to share their weights. Okay, so basically that's the multi-layer perceptron. Okay, this spatial transform network is something which provide inverse translation and rotation. And this multi-layer perceptrons provide sensitivity to local structure geometry that. And these two layers is something repeat again and again. Okay, so this depth first increase from 64 to 128, then to 256, then to 512. Hello.
Yeah, I think I understand now.
I'm connected to my mobile network, and that's something is giving delay. But yeah, basically that's like idea. Okay, so you will have like this spatial transform network which provides translation rotation, this multi-layer perceptron which provide sensitive to local structure, and you repeat this thing again and again until you get like this 1024 features over in that particular point. Okay, you use max pooling layer. Okay, so the max pooling layer is something what it basically doing is like it providing invariance to order and shape. Okay, so when you say like when you do max pooling on the kernel of guys power